What's up, everybody? DemonBotX here with another video. Today we are watching four. No, I will watch one of these stories for 4 videos. It's from Broccoli Animations. It's 4 petrifying true Costco horror stories animated. Yes, I got the idea from dang Matt Smith. Without further ado, let's watch.
I've been shopping at my local Costco since I was a child. It was one of the only places my father ever took me to. The beautiful man, my father, was the only family I ever knew. He liked to shop often, and said it was the way that he had gotten my mother when he had nothing, because, well, at least he could afford her stuff from there whenever he could. When I was 21, my father had died in his sleep from a broken heart that yearned for my mother, and I was left all alone. Grief stripped me off everything except Costco. I could work 40 hours a week for cheap, but one gets a sense that money was not the only reason that people would shop at Costco. Every piece of clothing that passed my neck was from the local Costco. It was the timeline of the decade. The Costco was the only thing of permanence that remained in my life. But it became familiar. I knew my way around every row, and I was convinced that I could march through the aisles with my eyes closed. And it was what was happening for the most part, as I was too dizzy to observe my surroundings. In the usual way that I would shop at Costco, I had gone on.
For some weird reason, I feel like this is gonna be one of these stupid stalking videos where this person gets stalked by one of the employees or a customer from Costco who sees weird ghosts. Yeah, I see too many of these kinds of videos. Well, let's find out.
On that strange evening when everything would change for me in a matter of suddenness that I struggled to process with. I remember I had a gray top on, and it was what I had on that drew the stranger to me. The inscription on the shirt had been simple but rebellious. It was an 80s hip-hop band called NWA. The tag read, "F the police." I didn't think too much about it since I had plenty of other shirts like it in my closet, and I didn't really know that much about rap. I was picking up some blouses from the rack when someone came up behind me and seized me by the wrist. His hands were firm and calloused, witnessing the fact that he was someone used to laboring at some hard activity. As hard as his palm was, it was cold. It was that which caused me to flinch, but his hands did not let go, wrapped around my wrist like a wrench. "Annette," he called me in a strange East European accent, as my eyes drifted to his face. He was a young man, cleanly shaven, and a neatly pressed shirt tucked in. He had a handsome face, the type that could fulfill a teenager's wild fantasy. But suddenly I pulled my hands from his wrist, and he yielded. "You have the wrong person, sir," I said to him in a calm tone as I could say. Almost as soon as I said those words, I saw his face transform through emotions, from light to heavy brooding, that made his brows fall askew. I couldn't have known what he thought in contemplation, and his foreign features provided no clue. I chalked it up to mere confusion, but even those who were confused at approaching a stranger, I thought that maybe he was someone that he knew and showed remorse quickly and apologized for the error. It could have been dismissed as some light humor, as everyone makes mistakes, but this man that was in front of me had an unwavering presence. "Annette," he called me again, and now I knew something strange was happening. I took a step back. He was at least 6'5", with muscular arms that could seize me without much resistance. I had an already feeling sweep over me, and the charm or whatever aura that he had over me that made me feel relaxed wore off. I was now wary, but I did not show my panic. "Excuse me?" I looked around the aisle when I was to discover that I was alone. Anybody there? He furrowed his brows and placed a solitary finger on his lips to silence me. He hissed through his fingers, and I obeyed unwittingly. My rapidly beating heart paralyzed my body. Sheer terror that I could not process ravaged my senses. I couldn't move, even if I wanted to run. As far as my legs could carry me away from the menacing glower I was confronted with, I was fixed to my spot as he made his move towards me and placed his hand on my shoulder. You will come with me, and your name is Annette when you try to pay, or I will bash your head against the floor so hard you will be unrecognizable, for when the coroner finds you. He said to me, his accent cleared up. I know you're alone. It felt like a nightmare from that moment. It felt like a nightmare, a blur, worsening, and I almost fainted. But it was happening, and I was no fool to think otherwise. I was being kidnapped to be trafficked. I couldn't feel my legs. I was so terrified of the many things that could go wrong in my life. How I didn't think that this was a possibility. No wonder his hands were so cold and hard. My body quivered on its own, and my stomach rumbled loudly. I'll pay, he said, as we made our way to the counter. I watched my hope evaporate with every step that led me into this horrifying maze. A nightmare. The voices in my head echoed loudly. I had the thought of resisting, but I knew that it would come with great bodily harm. He knew I was alone. I was so shaken by the entire...
Well, this kind of was a little weirder than I expected. I have never seen one where they get kidnapped. And I've seen like 25 of these animated horror stories. This is the first one where they get kidnapped.
Episode. In my incapacity to process what was happening, I didn't even realize that it drew the attention of one of the reps at the Costco counter. Did I give the items you wanted to you, Claire? I heard a beautiful woman say, and the words thumped into my hearing without distinction. I looked behind me to see if she was talking to someone else. My name isn't Claire, I thought in my head, but when I looked back, our eyes met. Come, come, she said, and just as she did, she pulled me to her, and the strange man held my hands. She smiled at him. Sorry, she ordered some stuff recently, and I wanted to hand it to her. To avoid the scene, he released my hands, and in a second I heard a yelling from across the stall. Get down on the ground! 2 cops had materialized out of thin air, ordering him to stand down. When he resisted, they shot him with a tase gun. My heart was still whipping wild in my chest.
So this is kind of
when he tried
funny.
To resist, and
well, not
they
funny,
him
but
before taking
scary.
him. Damn these traffickers. I knew he was dangerous the moment I saw him coming in, and I saw him watching you. The rep said to me, hey, be safe out there.
Okay, so that's the end of today's video. I'm sorry that I wasn't able to make a Fortnite video. I'm still trying to sort all that out to where I can play Fortnite without having to record it from my TV. So, it might be a while before I can make a Fortnite video. Or again, that would be a good Fortnite video. So, I'll see y'all tomorrow. I'm going to be recording the eclipse. Please watch it. It's not going to be the full eclipse, but it's going to be the most important part of the eclipse. It's going to be 5 minutes of the beginning and part of the eclipse. Eclipse, not calypse. Then it's going to be the half of the totality. Then it's going to be the end of the solar eclipse. So please, if y'all want to see it but don't got any solar eclipse glasses to see it, you could watch my video on it, and I'm going to just be recording it for my phone, so it might be a little blurry, but I'll try my best to make it as good as I possibly can with as many filters and edits I can do without changing it completely. So I'll see y'all next video, and that's it. This video will not be edited that much. I'll just add the intro and be done. Okay? I might cut this part out, I don't know. But I'm trying to work with the new headset I got, and it's not very good for this, so I'm trying my best. So please, give me some time, and I will start uploading my normal video game videos, and for all I know, I might make another Fortnite video one day. I've been playing Fortnite for a few weeks now, and I'm working on making it better, trying to get good at it. Well, see ya.